Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to This Is at Work. My name is David Hensley. I'm the owner and creative director of Long Walk Productions, and I am here to introduce your host, David Two Doggz Hayes.
Thank you very much, David Hensley, and welcome to Rock Hill, South Carolina's only premier pay-per-view wrestling talk show, podcast, whatever this is. This is at work. I'm a little loopy today. With me, as always, my tag team partner, Chris, the Fashion Flake Barnes.
Hello and welcome to This Is a Quarantine.
It's getting nutty, man. We don't even know if WrestleMania is going to happen right now. Everything's all up in the air.
It is, but everyone's wrestling in face masks.
Yeah. Well, one good thing that we do have going on besides the quarantine, we have a guest in the studio. We have one. Robert Brock Lesnar is my best friend, Brafford. How are you?
I am great. So happy I can be back on the show.
Oh man, it's fantastic to have you. We miss you when you're not here. We love your insight, man.
We just need to get you a shirt that says Brock is my homeboy.
Yeah. Well, guys, we've got a lot to talk about, so let's jump right into it. Because we've got a special announcement that we want to talk about after this that I'm chomping at the bits to talk. We go for the pre-show here with the Viking Raiders versus the Edgeheads, Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. You know, Robert, what'd you think of this match?
I'm having a really hard time remembering very much of it. I mean, I like the Viking Raiders, and I think Hawkins and Ryder are pretty reliable, but...
Former tag team champions.
Yeah, it just sort of felt like, oh yeah, we need to get the Raiders on this show somehow. Who's somebody we can throw at them?
Yeah, that's kind of what it felt like. It's... all in all, I thought it was a decent match. What'd you think, Barnes?
Very much so. I've always been confused as to why when they dropped the Edgeheads thing, they just never tried to find a new name for Ryder and Hawkins.
Yeah, they just... Ryder and Hawkins, there you go. We still have Kurt Hawkins wearing his onesie.
Yes.
And that looks not unlike a basketball uniform. That's just way too small for him.
Kind of, yeah. Kind of.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I said, I had no problems with this match. It was a jobber match, but it was fun. I don't see the need in having a jobber match on a pay-per-view, but I guess we just didn't have anybody else.
Well, fairness, that was the pre-show match, wasn't it?
It was.
Okay, so, I mean, technically, that seems like the right place for it.
Yeah, but you know, we could have thrown the AOP in there.
Yeah, I guess so. But I think I guess there's like, well, we have to have they feel obligated to put one on the pre-show to keep people interested. So
yeah, I suppose.
And I guess they're building the AOP and the Viking Raiders for maybe WrestleMania or sometime after.
It's got to be something. I haven't even seen AOP wrestle since they joined the Monday Night Messiah. So except in 6-mans and 8-man tags.
Yeah, I'm not watching Raw as regularly as I used to, but I'm trying to catch it more often than not, and I have not seen them actually in a match. They're just sort of enforcers on the outside.
And you know, nor should you be watching Raw. It's terrible right now. So I liked the match. It was fun considering all things. I gave it 2.5 Meltzers. Decent match. It was fun.
Yeah.
Love the ending. I get the Raiders mixed up, but I think Eric throws Ryder into the air. Ivar catches him for the slam.
Oh my
I
God,
just love that move. They don't do it as much anymore, but you know, when they were making when they were seasoning themselves in Raw, they were doing that move a lot, and it's nice to see him bring that back.
I feel like, it feels like a good pay-per-view finisher.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Because it brings them relevance and it makes them look credible.
Yeah, I like it when a tag team finishes up in a way that isn't just one guy does his finisher, then the other guy does his finisher.
Absolutely, which is another reason that I don't understand, why did we put together Seth Rollins and the Murph when they had a tag team in their stable already? Whatever. I don't even pretend to understand this anymore.
They're two great tastes that are not worse together, but
you should write ad copy.
But it's definitely less filling. I will say that. Moving into the main card, we have Daniel Bryan versus Drew Gulak. Another, I don't know if I want to call it a jobber match, but
no, that's what it seemed like, and that was whenever I saw the card, it was like the most, what the hell is this match?
Yeah. Well, there has been some story. On it where Drew Gulak has his PowerPoint presentation. There's 150 weaknesses that Daniel Bryan has, and he can exploit all of them, and that's what he's been running for 2 or 3 weeks now. Turns out this might have been the best match of the night. Just absolutely. I mean, they put on a clinic.
We were wondering why this match was happening, and then the match happened.
Yeah.
For a pay-per-view that was, I would say, overall a pretty pleasant surprise, this one was just, compared to what I was expecting versus what was delivered, that was a pretty incredible ratio.
Incredible. I mean, they were wrestling technical right off the bat and went for a good 10 minutes of just solid technical wrestling.
Yeah, Wikipedia says the whole match was 14-20.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It was hard to...
Here's what a sign of a good match. It didn't feel that long.
No, it did
not feel that long.
And, it's also when you go into technical mat wrestling, it's hard to control the crowd. That way, you've either got them or you don't, and they held them the entire time.
Well, I think what helped was that shoulder bump Bryan took to the outside. That
was
suplex
rough.
bump.
Yeah.
That was, you saw it on the back on his back too when he was wrestling.
That every time I see somebody suplex someone to the outside of the ring, I always catch a little bit of colon radar starting to pucker. It's just, I hate that move. It scares me. If somebody tried to do that to me, I wouldn't take the move.
And you're definitely scared for Daniel Bryan, the man who worked himself to the point of needing to suddenly retire.
And they played that up as the match went on, which I like that Gulak, as it gets further in and he can't technically out-wrestle Bryan, he starts doing more and more moves like German suplexes and that drop him right on his head. Yeah. And, we're all watching this, and it looks like Bryan takes the landing straight on his head and there was one bit where he, after he does that, Gulak goes for the pin, and he's actually cradling Bryan's head while the ref counts, and we all thought, oh my gosh, he's really hurt. He's ending it now. But Bryan did kick out, and the match kept going.
Oh, yeah. It's a fantastic match. In my opinion, this was match of the night. Just a sleeper match that you did not expect to happen.
I can get behind that, yeah.
I went 4.5 Meltzers on this, damn near 5. Only reason it didn't go 5 for me is just because the story was weak and thrown together. And they didn't try.
Plus, you randomly remembered Cody Rhodes' neck tattoo. And
that's got a lot to do with it. If I'd have thought too much about it, it would have gone down to 3.5. But
well, the interesting thing about it is the story that built to it wasn't much, but the story in the ring I thought was really fascinating because it's a dynamic you don't normally see, where the face comes in pretty confident that he's got this guy all figured out, and then he starts to get more of a I might be over my head on this,
right?
And just Bryan takes all these rest spots to just look at Gulak, and you see this kind of dawning concern on his face.
And people sleep on Drew too because they think 205 Live, he's got this goofy PowerPoint gig for a gimmick, but he can go, man. I need to see more of him. I really do.
Hopefully with this we will.
Yeah, I hope.
This is a really good case of without a lot of pre-building, they really started and told the story in the ring, and that's what's really going to be carrying it.
Absolutely.
So Daniel Bryan defeated his evil mirror counterpart.
Yes, he did. So now, moving on, we have Andrade versus Humberto Carrillo.
You got really close that time. It's good.
Yeah, I'm trying.
I was all prepared to kind of give you grief if you got his name wrong, but I was listening to the commentary when I was rewatching it, and King called him Humberto Carrero at one point.
He did.
So I guess.
Oh no, he JR'd it.
Well, at least if JR screws it up,
It's an honest
more
mistake
of a...
and less of an attempt at a joke.
Yeah, I mean, JR would call him by his real name. He would call him by his uncle's name. It would be everything else.
Well, it's JR just seems to do the thing that I think everyone does at least once, especially once you become a parent and you know too many names. Like you'll cycle through everyone's name in the house before you land on the one you meant to call them.
I
mean, my mom has called me. She's called for a pet intending to call for me, or my sister. It's just,
Yep.
Yeah, I grew up in a house where I just learned to answer to Tom, Randy, Robert. Can you?
There it is.
Yeah.
That same thing is. David, get in here. And Kara does the same thing, except she calls me our dog's name. Boo.
It's the same. It's the same energy.
So yeah, I'm giving this match a solid 4. This was a great match. The only reason I didn't go higher on this is because we've seen this match 13 times.
That's true. Yeah. No, these guys have. I mean, they're always great together, but they make a habit of making these two fight each other.
That's my biggest issue. How many times do you have to see this?
And Humberto's lost almost all these matches, right? Whether he's up against Garza or Andrade.
It's like they develop some sort of weird amnesia when they're booking, and they're just like, Andrade. Who should Andrade fight? Humberto's a good worker. We should.
Hey, yeah. This will be good. Very next week.
I do like that he's not coming out anymore in that kind of cardboard, like Dragonzord armor that he had for a little while. Just sort of. I guess he had to return that to Party City.
Yeah, I'm glad. That's. I still don't like him, and I don't have a real reason except for his dimples. I want to drill into his dimples from one side to the other.
You just hate his stupid face. Got it.
I hate his stupid face.
Sometimes that happens.
Yeah. There's really no other reason for it.
Long Walk Productions does not condone drilling people's faces. I just want to go out there.
No matter
and put
what
that
the
out.
horror podcast will lead you to believe.
Well, I mean, you could be lukewarm to it.
Can you be on this? Be lukewarm with the subject of drilling through someone's face?
Well, you know.
We don't officially condone it. Let me put it that way.
I'll take that. Yeah, I don't have a problem with this match, but Jesus Christ, how many times do we have to see it? And
for some reason, this match weirdly illustrated just how tiny Zelina Vega is to me.
Right,
especially in heels, like just showing off, like she's in heels, like like not small heels either. These are just like 5-inch heels, and she's tiny.
And she's still 5 foot.
Something I love about when she's on the outside of the ring, even though the mat comes up to about her, like I'd say about up to her neck, she's still hunched over and like
she is.
Like she's bending down, like she
she really works the expression
like one of those wolf spiders.
That are poised and ready to pounce. They did do an interesting spot. They did the outside rip up the mat and spot.
Right.
But oddly enough, it was Humberto who did it to Andrade. Oddly enough, he slammed him onto the double mat and not the cement side.
And I think there was another bit where he went over, Andrade went over the top rope and landed on it.
Yeah,
so it was sort of a situation where it's like you actually made the outside of the ring safer by setting this up.
Which was even more punctuated by Zelina staring slack-jawed after the move. It was like it's supposed to be, oh my god, I can't believe he did that to him. But it looks more like, oh my god, I can't believe he did it on the wrong side.
Yeah. A strange match, but really, really good. I went ahead and gave it a 4.
Yeah.
And
a solid match.
I mean, solid. It just, how many times do we have to watch this? Because we're going to lose our thunder here in a minute. And I mean, we already don't care that Andrade's the U.S. champion.
I was mildly surprised when I saw that he was, honestly.
That's my point.
As someone who only is able to catch the pay-per-views. Yeah.
Right. I mean, but that's my point, though.
He was suspended for a little while, right? Like
He was. But we still don't know what he was suspended for because it wasn't weed.
He forgot his anniversary with Charlotte. She made a phone call.
Yeah.
What happens?
To what? What did she call?
Oh, she
Ice?
knows people.
Because I'm going to guess ice if that's where this is going.
It was
Damn.
not.
Damn.
It was not.
See, I want, for the record, that was not me that said
No,
that.
it was not.
It was Chris, the alt-right.
But go ahead. But go ahead and blame dogs like you normally do.
Oh.
The best part is I said that twice because no one heard me the first time.
Called ice. Oh my God. And yet we go further down the spiral.
Don't give Vince any ideas. You know he listens.
But Andrade did retain over Dale Gas, and I know it's Spanish. I don't care. Every time I see it on his shirt, it's not Dale Gas, it's Dale Gas.
Dale Gas. No, I agree.
Some unknown NASCAR racer I'm not familiar with.
The Forgotten King of the Hill spinoff.
I know, right?
Oh, beautiful. Moving into the Elimination Tag Chamber match. Let me see if I can run this down. So, we have the Lucha Brothers.
Lucha.
It's Lucha House Party, right?
Lucha House. I'm sorry.
Lucha
I said
Brothers
Lucha
is
Brothers.
AEW.
Yeah.
Lucha.
Yeah.
Lucha.
The Lucha House Party. This is Lindsay Dorado
And Grand Metalik.
and Grand Metalik.
I did not notice. I should have, but he was wearing his entrance thing. Across the front of his chest was like all of his other masks.
I did notice that. Yeah. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah,
I
it
love
was
that.
It's like a
great.
fighter select screen on Street Fighter or something.
You've unlocked this many masks.
Oh man, it'd be
so-
great if he could press one and his mask would change and he gets different powers with each one.
Oh, that would
A
be
different skill. Different stats get buffed.
put in a code. He goes into God mode, and and then Lindsay Dorado is your new world champion. Imagine that. Next, we have Heavy Machinery, followed by Ziggler and Rude. They are still a tag team.
Zood. Wriggler.
Wriggler.
Here comes the Wriggler.
There's a... Nah, I'm not going to say it. Followed by the New Day and Eminem, Miz, and Morrison.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. One, I gotta say, guys, I thought that this was gonna be...
A mess?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed like it was just going to be too much going on.
In general, it's like the Elimination Chamber can be tricky enough with singles.
Yeah.
And so I was never super on board with the tag team version.
This turned out to be
Didn't it though?
really, really good.
The pacing was incredible, just the way
yes.
they had entrances and spots worked out. That
They had their
never-
shit together.
Yeah.
Let's see. Now, how did this start? It started out with the House Party and Heavy Machinery.
I think it was
No.
Usos and.
Oh, I'm
New Day.
sorry,
I think
you're
reading
right.
the
Yeah, you're right.
Elimination
You're
Chamber.
Yeah, Usos and New Day started.
Yeah. Then after that, then the Lucha House Party comes in.
Which props to them because even on paper, I love them. I love them. But even on paper, looking at this, once they're in the match, you're like, well, they're an easy elimination.
Yeah.
They were not.
No.
No one was.
Hung in literally to the very end.
I'm waiting to talk about it.
I know. So now after that, we have The Miz and Morrison.
Yes.
Comes in. And I got to tell you, I'm a little bit disappointed in John Morrison. I was expecting to see more high-flying stuff than I'm seeing.
I'm surprised that he never got onto the pod or did anything off like the walls of the cage.
Yeah.
He did some rope
Because
stuff.
some people
but-
did. Surprisingly, he really didn't.
I mean, he did a couple of things and it was fine, but he's got this really amazing barrel roll that he does from the top rope that I think is incredible. Left it alone. You would think he would be in there working with Lindsay and Metalik to try to, match metal for metal, but no. Well, anyway, after that one comes
Metal for Metal should be the name of something.
right?
Yeah.
After that comes Heavy Machinery,
Yes.
and then finally we have Wriggler.
Despite their best efforts, because they're the ones who get to try to hold their doors closed when the
Yeah.
Yes.
That was great. Because Otis was gunning for Ziggler.
Oh yeah.
This whole match was a mess, but it was a kind of a mess, but in a good way.
It was almost too much to try to keep up with. At one point in time, you want to talk about it?
Which one do you want to talk about?
the Dorado spot.
Yeah.
Oh yes. So you see Lindsay Dorado start climbing to the top. You don't know what he's going to do. Everyone just keeps fighting. You lose track of him until finally everyone looks up. He's made it to the top of the Elimination Chamber. He's holding on, and as everyone looks on,
He's monkey barring
yes,
over.
yes, he proceeds to I think moonsault his way down onto everybody else except Heavy Machinery.
He doesn't just drop; he actually flips himself
Yes, he does.
off the roof of the cage and
It is
plummets down.
glorious.
Yeah.
I would honestly call that the spot of the night.
Yeah, because I remember in a Hell in a Cell match, Jeff Hardy did something similar.
Yeah.
Climbing and monkey barring over and just did a splash. Not
Lindsay.
not on his watch, man.
Not
I gotta.
at all.
If I'm not flipping, I'm not living. It's let's crochet that on a pillow.
It was
We need our own Public shop now, so we can
Yeah.
put that on a T-shirt.
Right?
And what's so
if you're
great
over
is
300 pounds, you're a monster, and I don't want to hear you talk.
That's got to be.
And
the
if you're
first
not
one.
flipping, you're not living.
What's great is that, obviously everybody down below, in reality, they're looking up because they want to be ready so they can
catch him,
handle this. Yeah, this guy who's about to fall 30 feet. But it also just half their faces are like, wait, what?
Yeah, it does.
God's name is he
It's a
doing?
perfect use of that. What reset?
I think that was me.
It's just such a perfect use of the. Of course, they're there to also catch him moment because they're all looking up, going, "What the hell?" And it's
Yeah.
perfectly poised because everyone's doing that at this point.
Yeah.
He's not gonna. Oh God.
Finally, a little flip, splash down. Everybody goes down.
Except Heavy Machinery because they were too far back. I
Yeah.
think. But yeah, it was such a great spot.
Well, that was the one I think that Otis was close enough,
Yeah.
but they missed him entirely.
Yeah.
And he ended up, after everybody fell, just kind of taking a knee. And
Oh, the shockwave hit him.
yeah. I absolutely loved this match, though. There were so many just great spots. The Usos looked fantastic.
They did, yeah.
Heavy Machine. I mean, everybody. Even
Everyone had a great chance to shine, and it didn't just look like a one-off.
it actually made Ziggler and Rude look credible for once, because even though, yes, we put the belts on them and everything, but nobody accepted that.
Yeah. And speaking of Ziggler and Rude, Otis tries to take out Ziggler, and Ziggler dodges it. Otis goes through their pod in the Elimination Chamber to the outside.
What's terrifying is he doesn't shatter the glass as he's going to the outside. He just knocks the pane of glass completely out.
Well,
And
it's more like plexi, isn't it? It's like,
Yeah, it goes flying across the Spanish announce table. And
Yeah,
I
it
kept
does.
looking to see if one of those guys got decapitated or
Yeah.
something.
You kind of
man.
want one to, at least just because, not because you have a problem with them, just because it's really fun to watch them get hurt. It's
We are there for balance. I mean,
You want to see somebody's dimples get drilled and see a plane of glass decapitate a group of commentators?
And no, they
Was
they
that
seem
not
to be
clear?
and they seem,
Just clarifying.
they seem to all originate from the same area too. It's weird.
yeah.
there's also kind of a fun comedy spot where, to get away from Otis, Ziggler climbs up on top of the pod and is kind of taunting him because Otis can't make it up there.
Yeah.
And Tucker climbs up behind him.
Yeah.
And literally
Yes.
throws him down to
Yeah.
Otis.
And then when Otis gets knocked out, knocks himself out, Tucker goes nuts and takes revenge.
Well, not before. As he's looking at Otis on the outside, he's going, "Otis, get up! Get up, Otis!" Like it's the end of Homeward Bound or something.
Yes.
Just like, it's legitimately heartbreaking.
And Otis on the outside, he's almost like sadly reaching. His like eyes watery. He's just
I wish I could quit you. It's
avenge me, Tucky.
He does his best. But
He does.
He does.
That is, and that's the thing. It's like this match was also really good. Like I said, everyone got a moment of shine. Tucker, who is kind of like the less charismatic half of Heavy Machinery, got his chance and he took it.
He really looks great. I wish he was better on the mic.
Yeah.
Just something that could just push him over the top. Because right now, he's Marty Jannetty of this team. It's versus where Otis is the Shawn Michaels.
I'm sorry.
I needed the
No,
second
trying
half
to
of that before
imagine-
I got the metaphor.
Yeah,
No, I get the meta. I'm just trying to imagine Shawn Michaels looking like Otis
I don't know what the problem is. He's already doing the hip
with
gyration.
the exact same gimmick.
Yeah. Just a sexy boy. Sexy boy. Yeah. Becky. So the order of elimination goes, I believe Heavy Machinery ends up pinning Lucha House Party.
Yeah.
Then Heavy Machinery gets pinned by Ziggler and Rude. I want to say, didn't they both pin Otis? No, they both pinned
Tucker, yeah.
Tucker,
There were a couple of those where it's sort of dog pile pin because it's a tornado match, so
Right.
there's no reason you can't.
After that, we've got Ziggler pinning the... I'm sorry. The Usos pinning Ziggler and Rude. Morrison ends up pinning the New Day.
It was pointed out by none other than Xavier Woods that Kofi went out the same way he did in the 2019 Elimination Chamber, trying to do a splash off the top of a pod, missing, and then getting taken out.
Yeah. Now, something else interesting I heard about the New Day. Again, just a rumor. Don't know how much truth there is to it. I've heard that one of the reasons that he has dyed his dreads blonde is because they're looking to move him out of the New Day and make him go heel. Which, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like it either.
I think he's going to get lost in the mix if that happens.
I'm not really sure how you could get him to turn as a heel. I feel like the crowd wouldn't really go for that.
The only way I see it possible is him turning on Big E or maybe Xavier when he comes back. That's the only thing I can think to... but then again, this is the McMahon Federation, so he can... he'll do something at the very last minute, whether it makes sense or not.
Yeah, it's not a good idea is not nearly the same thing as it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
Right.
100% true.
So the winners of the Elimination Chamber are The Miz and John Morrison, retaining after defeating the Usos. That's, God bless, what a match, man. 5 stars, or 5 Meltzers, all the way.
100%.
I can't go less than that. That was just barn burner, man. Moving into our next match, this is AJ Styles. I know it's your favorite wrestler.
I don't complain about it nearly as much as you do.
You're right. Versus Aleister Black.
We'll say his theme song is 100% correct, though. We don't want none.
We don't. I desired none.
Every time he comes out and does that sort of bent over thing with his arms out, I just imagine him making little like motorcycle noises with his mouth. With music like that. I just never not been able to see that.
It's almost like he's on a bicycle. He's got playing cards in his spokes, and
He's waiting for Gallows or Anderson to jump on his back so he can carry them around the ring.
kind of want to see that now. Well, this was another. An AJ Styles match is an AJ Styles match, but this one wasn't awful. I wasn't bored to tears on this one, and I contribute that to Aleister Black just being awesome. Pretty good match. I don't really have a lot to say about it because it was still an AJ Styles match.
What surprised and at the same time made perfect sense to me was when I looked online, this was the second longest match of the evening. This match was longer than the main event Eliminations Chamber.
Yeah.
Only the men's tag chamber went longer.
Mm-hmm. And again, why do they give them that much time? Especially, AJ can't hold the crowd. He can't do it. How long have we been doing this podcast? 2 years now?
Just about this
That's
summer.
Close, yeah.
Has that not been our biggest complaint since we started? AJ can't hold the crowd.
He really can. Not the way they wanted to do it in WWE, at least.
No, it's back when he was an indie darling in TNA or ROH or New Japan. Sure. But you put those WWE restrictions and shackles on him, and he can't handle himself. That was a solid match, though. Aleister Black goes over. I gave the whole thing 3 Meltzers.
Well, he does have a little help at the end of it.
Yeah, you might want to explain that.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Thank you. I forgot about that. So, let me see now. How did this go? This went with...
Because it was a no DQ match, so eventually Gallows and Anderson get involved.
They get in the ring and they start pummeling Black. And just about towards the go home, we hear the bell. And the lights go out. And when the lights come back, who is standing in the ring but the Fiend? No.
He looks confused. The lights go out again. And he's gone.
Oops, wrong
He says,
summon.
I'm sorry. That's terribly sorry. Man.
Wrong summon.
So Taker comes in, choke slams AJ Styles damn near to hell. Lights go out, and he is disappeared. That was the reason that I gave it 3. Because the go home. That's what it was now.
What was interesting to me is it might just be camera angle, but when the lights come up with Taker in the ring, Black is nowhere to be seen. You don't. I don't know if he was just in the corner or he'd rolled out of the ring.
It's like they switched him.
Yeah, it kind of looks like he's transmogrified into the Undertaker briefly, and then when the lights go out again, he's back to himself.
He's a wear-taker.
Wouldn't you like to see that for a gimmick?
Every time the bell hits, it's just you can't control it.
Yeah. It's you can't go out tonight. It's a full moon. You're going to turn into Taker.
Oh crap!
But you don't know which Taker you're going to turn into because he might be.
That'd be even better.
He might be the underbiker.
Underbiker. No, you hear
rolling,
bong.
rolling.
Yeah, you hear bong. He keep rolling.
Dead man walking.
Oh yeah, that's what they switched it to when they didn't want to re-up the licensing.
Right.
For rolling.
Then the other one, he was oh God! Now I got to drive around to Kid Rock for an hour and a half.
American Badass.
Yeah.
That's right.
People forget that was a thing, and then
Well, that's what he was doing when I first started wrestling. So I was actually a little bit surprised when I was like, "Oh, he's doing this kind of undead supernatural force thing." That's weird. I wonder if people are going to get on board with that.
yeah, I still say Kid Rock should thank his lucky stars that he gave the WWE permission to use that song. That album would have never he would have drifted away into nothingness.
Well, it was that, plus
Earlier.
they also licensed the song "Lonely Road of Faith" for the vignettes, and then leading into the NWO return.
Mm-hmm. It was. He should be so eternally grateful to Vince McMahon. he would have left with Ba Wada Ba, and that would have been it, and we never would have heard from him again. I gave it a 3. Not much to say about it.
What's weird is the OC were out there with him to do nothing until
there was nothing that stopped them from
until
just
the
coming
scheduled
in.
run-in.
Yeah.
Like you expect for this kind of
They
match.
should have been out there teasing it, like, I'm going to interfere now.
Or Black does something to like take each of them out.
Yeah.
And then so he can fight AJ alone, but then they recover and come back at the end.
It was like watching someone play WWE 2K, where they're out at ringside, but they're not going to do anything until you start it. So
Right. Like, he would get tossed out of the ring, and they would get some boots in a little, and they would they'd do a little spot here and there, but still nothing to. Not what you should be doing in a no DQ match when it's 3-on-1.
The entire point of having two people come out to the ring with you is shenanigans.
Yeah, and
Something that merits more of an intervention by The Undertaker.
yeah, exactly.
Part of me wonders if the fact that they have a 3-on-1 match already coming up on the card, they didn't want to overplay that with the match being too similar this time.
That's a fair point, but
it was weird.
it was weird.
But it comes down to a situation of which one should get the rub here, which one deserves the rub, and which one could use the rub.
Right. I just think if that's the way it was going to go, the better thing would have been just AJ out by himself, and even though he should be able to prove himself the more technical wrestler, he's resorting to cheating anyway.
Right.
Because he just wants to win.
Exactly. And the thing about it, what are we going to do with Aleister Black now? Because it appears that he's moving into...
Get him a better tight design?
Well, there's that. And there's also, he looks like he's moving into a feud with Seth Rollins.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I don't know, he knocked on his door. I don't know what the point of that is.
I hope one day we see the outside of the room he's sitting in, and there's just like a men's room sign on the outside that explains why people keep coming in. That nobody actually realizes he's in there until they arrive.
Yeah. I would love to see that.
I assume it's because Black is not his Monday Night Messiah. Not Black, but Rollins is not his Monday Night Messiah.
No. So now we've got the Street Profits.
Yeah.
For the WWE Raw Tag Team. Is it the Raw?
It is. It is
Raw. Tag Team title matches for Tag Team title championship. Sorry. Versus Seth Rollins and the Mife. The beefy tiny Mife. You haven't laughed about that in a while.
It's the best of both Murphs.
I'm glad that Murphy's gone to just wearing just trunks or long pants in the ring as opposed to the torn up shorts.
It's Rollins' greatest gift to him.
Yeah, that's... No, I actually like it. It looks good on him, too. He looks like a champion. And
there's some nice theming with it because Rollins has Messiah on his and Murphy has Disciple on his.
Yes, it works out. And I've said this 1,000 times. I love it when tag teams match. Like Ziggler and Rude. They've been champions now, and they're still together. They still don't match. They're still coming out to different music. I guess they're just waiting. It's like we're gonna break them up, but we need them right now. So
yeah, you can't change Rude's style. It's synonymous with who he is in WWE.
God, yeah.
It's glorious.
Now you want to talk about a crew that is over with the crowd? That is the Street Profits.
It is. Everybody wants to smoke.
Even though everybody is, I'm told that everybody is being given solo cups. Like there's just a guy that walks out into the arena and is just, hey, pass them down.
Yeah.
Well, it's a horse or water thing. I mean, you couldn't make the crowd like hold them up and get into it if they weren't really on board.
True. And
as much as I will agree with that, there is also the tendency to people to get on board quick with chanting stuff, whether it's heel or face.
Okay, that is very true.
I think it's a mix, but yeah, the Street Profits really are over. As in, they were over in Saudi Arabia too.
Oh, they were, and it's I'm not a huge fan of the Street Profits, but I cannot deny the fact that they are so over and
talented.
They can go.
Yes,
man.
they can. It is also boggling to watch Montez Ford move in the ring.
Ford reminds me. I'm gonna go deep on this. You guys are probably not gonna know what I'm talking about. Montez Ford reminds me of Norman Smiley.
Fuck, you're old. No, I'm kidding. I know exactly who that is.
Do you really?
I watched WCW.
Okay, right on. He's this jobber that was in WCW, and but people kind of got into him a little bit because he would do this little shimmy
The
thing.
wiggle.
Yeah.
He had a dance he would just do called the wiggle, and people latched onto him.
Yeah, and ended up he's now training people at the Performance Center. So it's
Also, I think what gave him a bump was when WCW decided, we have a hardcore champion now too. They put Norman in that division.
Yes,
and it was just hilarious because he was terrified to be there, and he would wear protective gear.
And this Montez Ford reminds me so much of him, except
Like
Ford
stretch him out by another half a foot.
Right. The difference is Ford has got so much. He's got scary height on him.
Yeah.
That top rope splash the frog splash is
that plus his agility and his athleticism in general, and the things he does, he makes every normal move look that much more incredible.
Yeah. My only issue is I hate their gimmick. That's
okay.
It feels like they're a cross between Private Party from AEW and MVP.
Right down to very similar ring gear in ways.
Yeah. And I don't care much for Private Party either. It's again, I love that they can go, man. That's great, but
don't listen to this man. Their entrance is fantastic.
Their entrance is pretty good. It's I just don't like them as people.
Okay, fine.
Oh wow.
I'm sorry they took your parking spot. It's weird.
Yeah, well,
They were late for a party.
Their bouncer wouldn't let me into my space. So
Once it's velvet roped, it's their space.
Yeah.
Pricks. Great match from these guys, though. Murphy is showing us that he can do it. I think he's wasting his time with tag team. I told him that personally.
Oh, your Instagram buddies. That's right.
Yes, that's right. I'm since that was when he was a buddy.
Oh,
but
right.
he's not my buddy anymore. So
he's nobody's
He
buddy
became
anymore.
buddies, and then they told him, "All right, this has gone too far. You can't be buddy any longer."
no,
This love can't last. You got to drop it.
yeah, you're gonna be just Murphy. Isn't that right, Ali? That's right. And Elias.
Isn't that right, Ali?
Elias
Yes.
have a
Shut up.
Did Elias have a last name at one point?
Yes, Elias Sampson.
Huh.
Yeah.
So
I don't see it.
So if he cuts his hair, does he lose the ability to play guitar?
That is the theory, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he was Elias Sampson for maybe 2 shows in once when he first came onto Raw. And after that, he just became Elias.
I get that because if they had, they probably couldn't think of a nickname, not nickname, but last name that was less of a mouthful than that, because that's kind of a lot. Especially because if you're going to call somebody Samson, you really only need Samson, and the gimmick there is clearly you're strong. So, I think probably a good move for Elias.
That one's fine.
Yeah.
But
there's
Murphy.
No, why?
That's
okay. I understand the logic as to probably why. It just is still stupid.
yeah.
It's like his name of Buddy sounds too likable.
Yeah. See, I think you could go somewhere with
You
that.
should go by his full name, Butterick.
Or we could just go with my suggestion. If we have to do it, could we just call him the Murph and just be done with it?
What puzzles me, if they've got a whole thing where he gives up like one name in order to follow Rollins, why isn't there a scene like a segment where he gets like christened or baptized or whatever? That's supposed to be Rollins' whole thing.
There it is.
Rise,
Yes.
Murphy, as he lifts him out of the water.
Yeah, see, I would.
Or maybe he thinks he's the only one who should have a last name because now it's just Murphy, and then there were like the AOP. I think they only had first names too. So
Yeah, I mean, and seriously, I say we do that. Let's get controversial about it. I mean, look, it's not like you're steering away from it. You're collecting blood money from the Saudi Arabians.
Need to take advantage of the next few weeks when the crowd physically can't boo them.
Yeah.
Do whatever.
Yeah.
and then AEW can counterpoint going, we let our wrestlers have last names except for Cody. That's a legal issue.
Yeah. So the Street Profits end up going over
Yes.
Rollins and Murphy, and it was a great match.
Such a great match with special guest fan Kevin Owens.
He bought a ticket.
Oh, yes, he did.
He bought a really good ticket because he just came over the barrier and sat on the Spanish announce table.
With the biggest popcorn box I have ever seen in my life.
Kevin Owens, popcorn enthusiast.
It was...
He was just out there living his best life, enjoying a wrestling match.
And he
Yeah.
tries to share some with Rollins, and Rollins doesn't
Oh
seem
man,
He did.
I didn't notice it until I think you pointed it out on Twitter, Rob. But he with the no look.
So there's a bit where Rollins comes out to confront him, and Owens throws popcorn in his face, and Rollins just furiously turns back, and Kevin, just not changing expression, just raises one finger and kind of points off.
Just
to the
nonchalantly
left.
points to Dawkins, who barrels into Rollins, and Kevin just keeps looking at the ring, eating popcorn. I warned him.
Does not turn his head even slightly to see Rollins bounce off the barricade. Just does not even care.
Owens is so good. Why are we... Why... We got to give him more than this. We started out giving him this Steve Austin gig.
That's your correct chime, by the way.
Yeah. But it seems like we're fading away from it now. And I don't know why. Are we going to push him or not? I don't get it.
I think where Austin worked as like a guy who would just kick back at authority for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. Owens is sort of at his best spot where he's the guy who just is not impressed by whatever.
Oh, it's so good. It's
Yeah.
he's just going with the flow. It's like, you don't scare me or impress me.
Yeah, and he's funny, and he is quick
so
on the
easy,
mic, and you can hold. I mean, he can hold a crowd, and the kid can go too for a 300-pounder. This man has got.
He's got Bam Bam energy.
He does, as the Street Profits would say, he's got the smoke.
Yes.
That's. So yeah, the Street Profits go over on this one after Rollins and Murphy end up taking a powder outside the ring. Mm-hmm. Owens is walking around, dumps a little popcorn over there, and keeps on meandering up the ramp.
Just people nonchalantly eating in random situations is, for me, pretty much always comedy gold.
It's a great shorthand for this does not bother me.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't sweat this. And I love it because it's just like, he's just like, this was just the quickest way back from the concession stand to the backstage.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I just didn't want to walk all the way around. And I happened to notice, hey, there's a match going on.
It was pretty neat.
So next we have the Intercontinental Championship.
Yes, this is interesting.
3-on-1. Braun Strowman versus Sami Zayn, Cesaro, and Shinsuke Nakamura. In my opinion, it's open for debate. This was probably the worst match of the night. I think.
Just in terms of setup, I think.
In terms of now, I say that, but in the same breath, not a bad match.
No.
For what it was, I would say it wasn't worse than anything else. But for in terms of how it fit into a bigger story and how, then I'll admit that this felt like just they didn't quite know what to do and threw something in there.
I think
that's the problem when you put a championship on a guy like Braun.
Right. But I don't really know where they're going with this. Braun had the title for 2 months, maybe?
Was it months? I thought it was like a couple of weeks.
It may have been. It may not have been 5 weeks, maybe. It's because he won it at.
I think he just won it on SmackDown. It wasn't. I don't think it was at a pay-per-view even.
I'm trying to think now. It's.
You're getting a shrug from this end of the table.
Yeah, you know what? I think you're right. I think he did win
I don't
it.
remember
He did win it on Raw.
Yeah, no, because I would remember the pay-per-view happening. So.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't even care because the belt's so goddamn ugly. I can't.
Hideous.
It's
yeah.
I
They
don't
stole
want this
some
thing.
indie-fed world championship.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. This is not a denigration, but it does look like a Japanese title. Kind of.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's the metal on it is so dark you can't really.
The dark metal on black leather doesn't work.
Just, I understand you want to make changes and things.
This was a bad one.
But why start with that, and then why that? I mean, why don't we work on the story?
This can be summed up with, but why?
Yeah, why don't we, instead of changing the belts, how about we work on our story a little bit?
No.
Let's take our top 10 guys. Let's hash out something good.
You need to shut up. I'm sorry, I was pretending to be WWE creative for a second.
Yeah, that sounds like witch talk to me, and we burn witches. But yeah,
we can script out 6 months of story, or we got Bret Hart on the phone. He's willing to come back, wrestle for 2 minutes. Who can we have lose to him? Who's our current champion?
I like where your head's at. Get this guy in office.
Wait, hold on. Goldberger returned our call. We're good.
Get out.
No, I will say what I did like about this match was I thought it was a really good story for a handicap match, for the idea that Braun has one guy among the three that he really wants to get his hands on, he wants to destroy Sammy, and so he keeps giving up opportunities to take out the guy who's in the ring with him to take a swipe at Sammy on the outside, and then Cesaro or Shinsuke will hit him from behind, and so they kind of just wear him down that way.
Arguably the guy you would logically think he'd be least worried about.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. It is the thing that ultimately does him in.
But the thing about Strowman and Sammy, their feud runs deep. It goes back a couple of years, back to where he was chasing him around and what? Oh my God, I'm trying to think. I can't remember if it was Kevin Owens that he. Well, I know Kevin Owens. He flipped a car.
Well, that's what. Yeah, it was. Well, and then was that also during the time they were best friend? They were doing the best friends thing.
And then Sammy came around. He started chasing Sammy around. And he did something to Sammy, and I can't remember what it was. I want to say there was a Porta-John involved, but that might have been Kevin again.
I think that was good because I do remember seeing that on. Because I think I started watching again at the SummerSlam where Braun squashed Owens. Right, and they had the Porta-John thing in the clip reel for that.
Who keeps every so often bringing up the idea of a Porta-John spot?
Yeah,
in matches, it's like, oh man, we need to do something big. Let's get Porta. Who keeps letting him in here? And who keeps occasionally not paying attention, saying yes?
He keeps saying it whenever Vince is around,
and Vince laughs.
And goes, do it. So now we've got to again. Jesus.
But we're not filling the next one.
You know what? We're getting Dana Warrior out of here. I've had it.
For some reason, I've heard her speak. Just every time I imagine her talking in like a meeting. She has Ultimate Warrior's voice for some reason, and I can't shake it.
God, That would be, yeah. I kind of want that to be the thing now. I feel like Dana Warrior is the one that comes up with the Porta John things. She came up with the dog food angle for.
I know it's an audio podcast, but this face I made, I'm sure, was amazing.
Oh, yeah. Well, I feel like everybody's face on that one.
That's just such a weird angle because they pushed it so hard. And like they wanted...
hey guys, Roman Reigns. What's his? He's the big dog, right?
Yeah.
So he's in
What do dogs eat?
Right.
With the
dog food, like canned dog food.
So what if somebody tried to make Roman eat dog food?
Oh my god!
For 3 months.
Oh my god!
Then there's one writer that's like, well, I mean, we could probably do that for like a show, but
3 months.
We could extend it to 2 weeks, but I don't see how we could possibly
at least 2 pay-per-view matches.
You don't understand. This feud is dog food now.
And then Dana Warrior comes in and she says, hey, let's get a guy to dress up as a dog mascot and come out there and go roar, 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 and do the Roman Reigns theme song.
What is this Babytown Frolics bullshit?
You really do come to appreciate how...
I thought we weren't doing a Firefly segment.
You appreciate how easy Chad Gable got off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for Shorty.
Who's just... He's what is he? 5'8".
Yeah,
I'm his height.
Yeah, he's at like the slightly lower end of the vast average of American.
Yeah, no,
men.
that's about
Mustafa
the
Ali is the same height as him,
and only one of them's getting called Shorty.
Yeah,
Shorty G.
Finn Balor, same height, maybe a little shorter. Still,
Demon King. One of them's a Demon King, one of them's Shorty.
Yeah. Dean Malenko was shorter than all 3 of them. Man of 1,000 holds.
Shorty G. Just to show you the progression of that. But that was at least WCW, where they didn't do that thing. They would at least just leave their undercard alone and just not pay attention to them.
Right.
They wouldn't so often have someone like Vince going, I need to change your name.
Yeah. Shorty. I can see this happening.
There was a time once when Vince looked at you and was clearly thinking something up. There was a chance something good was going to come out of that.
Yeah, that's...
See, I don't know who to blame exactly, but I know he's got final approval over all that stuff.
Yeah, well, if he comes in, he will... it's widely known that he will come in and tear up the script and book it his damn self. And
I think it's what happens to any creative person.
I assume he doesn't walk in. I assume since he's still so much into bodybuilding, he just tears through one of the drywalls and just like, here's what we're doing tonight.
Dog food.
Oh, yeah.
But he has gotten to the point where, I mean, when do you think was the last time that somebody would flat out tell him that's a terrible idea? And
those people eventually all left.
Yeah.
That was someone like Pat Patterson who would be there and be go, no, that's stupid, Vince.
Yeah. It's I firmly believe that is the reason that Arn Anderson is not there anymore.
Yeah.
Even though he was a road agent and had issues with old girl, God, I've forgotten her name. She was a useless talent anyway. Who was it? It's around.
I don't know this story.
Oh man.
Describe her.
Black girl wore the hat.
Like Alicia Fox.
Alicia Fox. Yeah, Alicia Fox. That's it. She had a drinking problem.
That's unfortunate.
That was, and
I'm betting the party girl gimmick didn't help much.
Yeah, and I think Arn tried to help her out a little bit, and
that would make sense considering Arn's history. Yeah,
and he probably lied for her a couple of times and allowed her to get in the ring, and that's why Arn got fired. Or was asked to resign or whatever it was, but or something like that. Anyway, we have a new Intercontinental Champion. in Sami Zayn.
You know what was nice to see about this? Yeah, Sami Zayn took the win. It was nice to see after the end of that. Nakamura and Cesaro celebrating him.
Yeah, they gave him like a group hug.
Yeah, it was great.
Happy. There's no fighting over which of the three of them gets to be champ. And that could still happen.
Friendship won.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like the fact that Sami's going to... is wrestling. Although, I got to say, I really did dig him as a manager. We haven't had a good manager other than Heyman and Zelina Vega in a long time. And look, Zelina's alright.
Yeah, but I can tell Sammy still wants to be doing more in ring.
He does.
And I don't think it's fair to sideline him before he's ready to be there. Because, I mean, it's not exactly the same, but that's what Vince tried to do to Mach and make him commentator. And then he just, he got fed up with it and left and went to WCW. So.
Yeah.
His ability to talk is going to be there after his ability to wrestle has gone down. So I can see why he wants to focus on one now.
Whereas when they did try to make Mach a commentator... Not much of a commentator.
No.
His promos were great, but his promos were great because he was crazy.
Yes. He's a good hype man for when he feels like it.
Yeah, as far as a color commentator, oh man,
he would punctuate things, but
yeah, it was kind of tough to listen to at times.
Yeah.
Well, moving into our main event. Oh, yeah, I gave this match 2.5 Meltzers.
Yeah, that's fair.
Decent. It was fun. We got a story out of it. And what's next for the monster? Is that going to still be a thing? We don't know.
Shrug.
Wrestling. The women's chamber match as the main event of the
Elimination Chamber. I don't know what other type of chamber it could be, but just saying a women's chamber match just kind of goes weird places.
Yeah, you're right. It's maybe I should. The women's elimination chamber match.
Yeah.
So let me see. Let me pull this up real quick. I think we're starting out.
And this is not for a title. It's just for whoever gets to face Becky Lynch at WrestleMania.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah. This one was okay. I kind of knew right off the bat, and I think everybody else did, who's going to walk.
Foregone conclusion. Yeah. And I think that's not good.
Although I am really glad that my joke about Natty winning did not come true.
Yeah.
Don't need that.
Yeah. So
I think it was good in establishing Shayna as very dominant.
Mm-hmm.
But I have two major problems with the match, and I'll get into them in a minute.
Okay. So what we've got here, we start out with Natalya and Ruby Riott.
Yes.
I don't have anything to say about this.
It wasn't.
It went.
Yeah.
Natalya is not as good as she used to be. If she was ever good to begin with. I think she was at one point. Riott is a fair to middling wrestler for the women's division.
It's important to point out that the former Riott Squad is half the entrants in this match.
Yeah.
Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan.
Yeah. So I also believe that somebody was dead set on burying the Riott Squad.
I guess.
Yeah.
But maybe something will come of this because it seems like I just watched Raw just a bit ago because I'm so far behind. And it looks like the Riott Squad are all going after each other.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh no, are the Mega Powers exploding?
The Mega Powers are exploding to make a fine angle for the main event.
Okay.
And on the network.
Okay.
That you guys didn't even know the main event is a show, did you?
I did not.
That's it.
I'm not going to pretend.
Reference, but I wasn't sure if it was a real thing.
Yeah.
I can't be 100% sure you're not making this up until you show me later. So
I don't watch it myself, so it'll. I just know it exists.
So this alleged show.
I did like the Riott Squad feud kind of work to the bigger story of the match, which is they're so busy focusing on each other that there's one big threat to the other 5 competitors, and the Riot Squad aren't focusing on her.
Yeah, because Ruby spent her time making faces at Sarah and Liv.
Yes, she did.
Liv, I should point out, since I'm going to live up to it for a second, her outfit was...
up to it for a second?
Live up to the nickname for a second.
Live up to it?
Please edit.
No.
God damn it. Alright, so... I was like, her outfit was fine, except she had like a belt buckle all the way up to her neck, and I was like, that seems like a poor choice.
We talked about that a lot, and yeah, I agree. Very poor choice. I wouldn't want to wrestle in that.
No.
Thinking back on that, she's actually quite lucky that Shayna never noticed that. Mm-hmm. It was never like,
Shayna thankfully took care of noticed that and took care to avoid it.
I feel like had Ronda Rousey still been around and seen that, I feel like that would have been the first thing she would have gone for and tried to kill that woman.
Yeah, Rousey's unsettling in that regard.
Yeah. And Shayna Baszler, she's
no slouch. Nope,
she's no
she
slouch.
demonstrated this as much in that match.
But I think she's learned. She scared me when she first came on the scene. I watched her in I want to say it was the first Mae Young Classic, and she was terrifying. I swore she beat the devil out of this one girl. Like, just her opening match. It was a jobber match, and she just whooped her butt good.
I think she's finally gotten to a point where she's finally edged off to the point where it still looks UFC scary, but it's working a proper wrestling style.
Yeah, she seems to have gotten much better, and I enjoy her matches now. I'm not scared watching it. Yeah.
It looks vicious, but it looks pro wrestling vicious.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, now we have Sarah Logan coming out, who I like. Sarah Logan.
Mm-hmm.
She's not a strong wrestler, but I like her gimmick and I want her to do well. I don't know why I picked her.
I'll be honest. I got her for a while. I got her confused with Nikki Cross for a while.
Yeah,
I can see that. Yeah. Well, now the gimmicks changed a little bit. She was the Viking, the cosplay Viking, thing. Now she's just the huntress.
Right, Shawn Michaels cosplay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you said she was playing up the fact that people got mad at her for showing off her hunting stuff on Instagram.
She did.
And stuff.
Yeah, they had a lot of heat from that.
Whatever. I don't care. Like.
Yeah.
That's her thing.
And she's into it.
I'm sure she's not like hunting with an AR-15. It's like
I'm sure she knows exactly how to use every part of it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's not just like show hunting for trophies.
she won't, but she just leaves it there to die. But
I'm pretty sure she's not doing it.
I'm pretty sure that's what I saw. She was like, I believe it. The tweet was "fuck this animal," and
the world needs less of them.
This stupid deer face.
And later I'm going fishing with dynamite.
Yeah. And I'm not going to eat any of them.
I hope this deer's child finds its body and cries over it.
I Bambied this motherfucker.
Yep.
In fact, I set up a camera just to watch it.
Putting it on my best of tape. Want to buy it?
This bird have to deliberately hatch its young and then watch them starve.
Can't wait for the winter, seal clubbing season.
It's the most wonderful time of year.
I feel like if she takes her gimmick in this direction, I would legitimately love that.
I would be so
absolute
God.
Disney villain.
Just
could
like
you?
Could
you go straight Cruella DeVille?
If she sings a song about it, I'm on board.
Oh my God! Can you guys imagine? This is, but you know what? We're laughing about it, but this is some of the shit that Vince would go for.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, kill the animals.
Yeah. See, we sit around and we go, that's hilarious because it's stupid and no one would do it. And then Vince is taking notes.
She comes out head to toe in animal pelts.
You're an animal murderer.
It'll be like that episode of The Simpsons where everyone finds out that Mr. Burns is killing endangered animals and he sings that Disney parody song.
These what's the face of albino African endangered rhino.
See my vest, made from real gorilla chest.
See, this is already writing itself. Come on, Vince.
In fact, The Simpsons already did.
Yeah. Just give me a call, man. Let me handle this for you.
I get the feeling that our version of what would be horrible to put on TV would somehow just be properly over the top and comedic.
Yeah.
Instead of horror. Our shenanigans are cheeky and fun.
I think it's just enough to get over.
His are cruel and tragic, which makes them not shenanigans at all, really.
Right. So now after we have Sarah Logan come out.
Her, Ruby, and Natalie end up basically fighting and kind of knocking each other over.
Yeah.
Which I feel pretty proud of myself for calling it as well as I did. Mm-hmm. Up came Shayna.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is where things took a turn.
The monster went to work. And in very short order, eliminated all three of them.
Oh, my God. It was, and tap out to, what does she call that finisher?
The Kirifuda clutch.
The Kirifuda clutch. Okay, yeah. I knew it was some kind of Samoa Joe move.
The kill-a-fucker clutch. Got it. This is where my first issue came in with the match. Is like the pacing went to hell here.
Yeah.
Because for some reason suddenly like the timer was God at this point, and Shayna was stalking around the ring waiting for the timer to count down. Mm-hmm. And then finally Liv came out. And
it did not. What did it go? I think it went 2 minutes.
Maybe at best. I don't know. I would say less because she also eliminated Liv.
Yeah.
Who didn't seem to mind too much. She was into it. But then it was left was down to her and Asuka. And Asuka was standing. Asuka, also, we should point out, there was a point where Shayna could not look directly at Asuka.
God.
Because Asuka was making faces at her.
Dancing in her little...
She was like, I'm ready, come on.
One thing I have been loving on Raw is that they're just letting Asuka and Kairi Sane just cut promos where they shout in Japanese and laugh, and there's almost no effort to have them pronounce English phrases or to the subtitle. It's just... As much as the Kabuki Warriors name deserved to be riffed on, the fact that they are now doing basically a theater where the spoken words aren't really relevant to understanding their meaning, I'm kind of loving.
I do love it because the thing about it is somebody sat down in the writers' room and they said, "Yeah, let's get the Warriors to cut a promo." Are we gonna give them a manager or somebody? We gotta have a translator, right?
Nope.
No. We're gonna give them the mic. They can say like 4 words of English if they want to. Not gonna push it. And then whatever else they want to say it in your native tongue. Well, nobody's gonna understand it.
I really hope.
I don't care.
I really hope for the words they do end up spouting out in English. They're just like they talk it over. And it's like, what if I just said this word out loud?
Yeah. And honestly, it's funny stuff. I just got through watching one of their promos from Raw.
Shayna,
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, Shayna could not handle it. She kept breaking every time she looked over.
Oh, it was so bad. It was so obvious.
Because there was a point right before Liv came out where they were both still in their pods, and she was staring down Liv, and then she would try and stare down Asuka, and have to keep turning away.
And she tried to do it as sort of like, oh, ha ha ha. You're like she was trying to keep it kind of in.
No, she was just giggling.
Straight up breaking. It was. I like to see that. I really do.
It was like Orange Cassidy and Pac. It was just their pack.
Yeah.
Just they both had a moment where they realized how ridiculous their spot was.
So we got.
So there was this. But then it was when it was just those two. They were just staring down, waiting for the pod to open. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And as fun as it was hyping up, it was just like
when that's going on for 3 minutes.
It really did. Yeah. And you felt it. And they came out, and then. They had some good back and forth.
They did, but getting back to the timer, WWE has always lied to us about their timer. Why did they stop lying?
It's
now?
always been what's most dramatically appropriate, not how much it's counting down. Actually,
I don't want to say it killed it because
no, it didn't.
It was,
didn't.
But it could have.
Yeah.
And I think we deserve a little more than that.
Because they fudged that timer to let things go when they needed to let a spot play out or something, or if things were just okay, things seem to be just too slow right now. Let's toss, make the timer go.
Yeah.
The only times they don't really fudge that is in the last time they had an Iron Man match when the timer is meant to be up there the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah. And then things got.
There was
awkward.
Some back and forth.
Yeah.
There was an attempt.
A little offense in.
Yeah. It wasn't. I thought it was going to be more intense.
Yeah, you kind of, because they're both these people who just dominated NXT when they were there, and you really do feel like
they missed.
Yeah.
There should have been missed.
There's
to have Shayna shake off the mist and just crush her anyway, I thought would have been, and she looked like the Incredible Hulk at the end of it, so win-win.
Yeah, I think everybody was disappointed that we didn't have Mist. This is a pay-per-view. This is main event.
It was definitely
This is for a shot at the title.
That's definitely a missed opportunity.
Yeah. Oh. That dude.
I saw Doggz laugh. And
no, he did not laugh at first.
Oh, there it is.
I saw the look of realization and anger.
You're a terrible person.
You're welcome.
I want you to feel bad about that.
You chose me.
God damn it, I did. This is my fault. Shayna Baszler wins.
She does. And that kind of brings up my next point, my next actual point, which is she looked great. She looked dominating. She looked fierce. They've done nothing to really set up an idea of who's going to be able to, follow after the title after that. Because they're setting up that probably Becky will lose. Shayna might win. I know. It's still up in the air. But they don't really have any, aside from Becky and Shayna chasing this round and round, who else is coming up behind to try and take it? She cleared the field.
Really, nobody. Yeah. It's going to have to be Baszler. Here's the problem with that. Once she gets it, and I'm pretty sure she will.
Yeah, it feels like, that's what we're heading for.
Well, now we've got another Brock Lesnar on our hands, which is going to be fine for the first year.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be fine maybe for the second year, depending on how we use her. What do we got after that?
Admittedly, one thing that kind of works in favor here is that she's in her, I think, late 30s now.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so
something like that.
The fact that she's I think she's performing now at the level that Brock Lesnar was at during his next big thing days back when he first debuted. And while I do loathe Brock Lesnar with a intensity that is singeing to all those around me.
It's a bit warm in here.
When he debuted, I thought, okay, that's he lived up to that dominance and everything. So if Shane is doing that now, I don't think she's going to stick around the way Brock has until long after they're past all that.
Yeah, the problem is they've got her steamrolling everybody. So it's one of those things as
it's the Ultimate Warrior problem.
Who's gonna beat her? And that's fine that she gets. The only other person is we've got Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
And she's going to WrestleMania too, so for a different reason. So
I do think you have people in NXT who have faced Baszler because she held that title for over a year, right? She held it for a while. Mm-hmm. So someone like Bianca Belair, who lost to her, who could come back to the main roster and be like, I want my next shot.
They got to be setting that up now. They got to be getting that ready now, and it's just
I think if you polish up Belair, I think you could have a decent champion. I like her right now. I think she's going to need some polishing, and she needs to work on it a little bit. But I think she's ready.
The reason I called it the Ultimate Warrior problem is they had that problem with him when they let him demolish his way to beating Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
And then who did he have to challenge him after that?
Nobody, because he ran through everyone and didn't sell for the makers. And that's kind of the problem that we have. So, there we are.
At this point, based on Braun Strowman's record, I would accept him as being a champion. I don't think he should be. I would accept him as being a champion because there are people who can stand up to him.
There are.
Yeah.
No, I thought that Strowman might be ready when I saw him take that IC belt.
Yeah.
I thought maybe he's ready. We've had a little, we've had a downswing on him. I don't want this to go Big Show-esque, where he. Sadly, I think we went ahead and went Big Show-esque. Because he got the title and nobody cared. I cared, but I don't think anybody else did.
I never minded it with the Big Show so much because he always showed off he had a personality to begin with.
Right.
He always showed off that he was multifaceted, not just the singular monster that a lot of other people are.
Yeah.
And Braun, they really pushed that for him to be his be-all, end-all game plan. So that's why I always felt like he should be more in the Andre category.
That's what I would like to see.
Because they really did the smartest thing possible with Andre in terms of he was never champion, but they gave him the chance to be one through chicanery. Yeah. He had the one night championship. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because they knew and Andre knew it's like long term him with the belt isn't gonna be the winner.
Yeah. They knew back then. It's like it's got to be somebody that's gonna be charismatic, over with the crowd, but can be beaten.
Yeah, and he should be the monster chasing them.
Mm-hmm. And, we haven't really... Boy, Finger's going to love this. That I'm going to say this out loud. There hasn't been anybody like that since Hogan. Cena was close. Austin was damn near unstoppable. The Rock was probably... Well, yeah, I started to say Hogan, but yeah, The Rock would probably be the next one. Mm-hmm. Followed by Cena and then Hogan. Because Austin was just knocked down, drag out. It's
I'm sure you can still expect a phone call.
Oh, I honestly I expected one today anyway. He threatened to call me early in the morning. It didn't happen. Thank God, because I was really tired this morning. So we got Baszler going over. I gave this 3.5 Meltzers. I could have gone higher. I just
it didn't feel big enough for me. Given that it was almost inevitable that Baszler was going to win, and I wish they'd come up with something more interesting than having that be
making it the most obvious.
Right. And the thing is, not to dip back into history, but y'all mentioned on the Royal Rumble episode that I had something of a visceral reaction when Lesnar tore through the men's Royal Rumble.
That's fun. It's my favorite pay-per-view.
It didn't bother me that way here at all because I think they did a good job of making... First off, she comes out to 3 weakened opponents and just picks them off.
Yeah.
She varies her offense up a little bit. Like she immediately hits Logan with a finisher, chokes her out.
Yeah.
Riot started to recover, a couple of knee strikes, chokes her out. Natalia's almost back up.
She swings her into the cage.
Yeah, Liv Morgan. That was...
Okay. Oh, that was Liv. That's right. Oh,
yeah. That was
There's
tough,
multiple.
man.
There's a quote from Community that stuck out with me about that match where at one point someone says of Alison Brie's character that making her sad is like choking the Little Mermaid with a bike chain.
Yeah.
And that's what I was thinking of watching Baszler just destroy Liv Morgan.
It did briefly become a snuff film.
Oh, yeah.
But I think they made it enough of a story, and Asuka got enough of her own back.
And see, I knew Asuka wasn't going to take it because it's like, well, she's still the tag champs. They're probably going to have them defending at WrestleMania.
And that's kind of the problem is that it was so predetermined. You could smell it, before the chamber even came down. You knew what was going to happen. And that's why it only got a 3.5 for me, because I love the chamber. I love the chamber as much as I love the Royal Rumble. It's for my money, it's hard to fuck up the Royal Rumble, man, because it 9 times out of 10 always gets 5 stars from me almost.
It's really
And it did not happen this time.
Because really the simplicity of the Rumble is send them in, let them do their thing.
Yeah. And there we go. So 3.5 for the Women's Elimination Chamber in the main event of this pay-per-view. Overall, I gave the whole thing a 3. Surprisingly, me coming into this not giving a damn about it. Just because Super Showdown was so awful.
No, it was
I just couldn't.
soul eroding.
Yeah, I did not care in the least. Surprisingly, not a bad pay-per-view. Not really a bad match.
No.
I can't say anything. Good stuff, guys.
Very good, yeah.
I got some problems with where you're going, but as far as the wrestling goes and how you guys stacked this, it was great.
That is sort of a weird thing, though, when you look at how this fits into their bigger picture. Because what you have on this card is there's no Universal title defense, no WWE title, the Raw or SmackDown Women's Championships aren't defended.
Right.
You don't have Bray Wyatt, Goldberg, Roman Reigns. You don't have any of their really big names. Becky Lynch has an appearance but doesn't actually do any wrestling.
Yeah.
So in some ways, it's like, yay, this is a great chance for people who are normally in mid-card status to really show what they can do.
Yeah.
But then you leave it behind and you think, wow, we're not going to see this probably again this year.
Yep.
Why don't you guys let these people shine a little more?
Yeah.
It kind of shines a light on them. And it kind of shines a light on on a problem that they have.
Yeah, it really does. It's kind of glaring at this point. Well, Mr. Barnes, let me ask you.
All right.
Best dressed for this evening.
Ooh.
What do you got?
Okay, we're a week removed, so it's just gonna be a minute.
Well, take your time. I'll go to our guest.
Okay.
What would you go for best dressed?
I really liked, and we talked about this when we were watching the New Day's outfits in the Elimination Chamber, because at first they just look like they're wearing all white, and then you realize that they're actually like paint by numbers designs on there. And we were hoping that they would have like hidden color dyes that would come out as they sweated. That didn't happen, but it was still a really fun idea.
Yeah. Like that. I like that. Hensley, what do you got?
For best dressed?
Yeah.
Oh God, I prepared for the other question you asked me, and not at all for this.
Well, I was just kind of.
Yeah, he's giving me a chance to circle back around, and I'm still kind of stuck. As much as I didn't like the I'm still stalling for time.
That's okay. Because I'll go ahead and tell you mine. Best dress for me was Zelina Vega. Fantastic. Looked great.
Can still move in those heels, because after Andrade gets the pin, she grabs the title and like sprints out.
Handling
you see her,
it.
like stagger running.
That girl can book it in heels.
Give that tiny girl some props, man.
That girl can book it in heels, yeah. Okay, I'll be honest. It might be kind of a tie now that I'm thinking about it. Between, I like Ruby Riot's get up. She was dressed really well, I thought.
Right on. Now, you were not a fan, weren't you talking about that the other night? About the elimination, how you hated the one leg?
Does she have the one? Okay, no, then I take it back.
It was you.
It was me, Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan, despite the buckle at the neck, which seems a bad idea and very impractical.
Yeah.
I liked her get up. If it was really good, simplistic design too.
Right on.
But I don't like the single leg, full leg thing. And I think you mentioned it would have probably looked a lot better if she had like fishnet on that leg or something like that, or stocking of some kind.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I don't get that design idea, and it just bugs me.
Yeah.
And from a symmetry sense.
So what do you got for worst dressed?
Worst dressed is Otis. Giant baby man Otis, who had what I would say calls a quarter tee and the short trunks. He looked like fucking baby Huey.
I do sort of miss when he would have the singlet on, and it would maybe he'd take it down at some point, but he didn't wrestle like that the whole time.
He just needs like bike shorts. That'd be fine.
Yeah.
He looks like a giant baby.
I think that's what the appeal is, honestly.
Not for me.
It's
Thankfully, he's charismatic enough that it's enough to overlook it, but my God, no.
Yeah, no, I see. I think that's part of what gets him over is that giant baby Huey look. And then, when he has his deal with Mandy, he can do
She can dress him.
Yeah, well, come in.
See, that circles back around to the problem. That circles back around to the problem of Tucker not being able to talk well. It's like, well, once he starts dating Mandy, then she can speak for them.
Yeah, and then we got a new manager for heavy machinery. What do you got
For worst dressed?
yeah?
I'm going to say Bobby Roode, not because there was anything wrong with his outfit. It's just that his tights were the color of Blockbuster Video, and that made me sad.
That's true.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
I just looked and I was like, man.
I know it was meant to be more old school block letter type, but it was just, it looked like Blockbuster.
It was tough, man. Well, now we got to go to our best performance.
Wait, hold on. I do have a runner-up, and that's Aleister Black, because he refuses to change that design on the back.
Oh, those damn trunks, man! That looks like a shit stain.
Mm-hmm.
Which made it worse because at one point AJ was going to tombstone him and tried to do the thumb across the throat thing, but because of the positioning, it looked like he was trying to wipe off whatever was on the
Yes,
back.
It looks like the trade-off for Satan's dark powers was that he shit himself.
How did we forget to talk about that? Oh,
I thought they were just recreating Undertaker Sid from WrestleMania 13.
yeah.
Look that story up, people.
Yeah. That's one that goes in the annals of
In the shit street books.
yeah.
The Annal Garces.
That's right. Well, Hensley, what do you have for best performance?
All right. I want to address this elephant in the room before it becomes an elephant in the room.
I already
because
talked about Otis.
This is going to be the third episode in a row where this happens.
You told me about this.
Yeah. So, once again, third pay-per-view we've watched where my best performance, and this time it's a tie, goes to a man, and worst performance goes to a woman. I'm not trying to do that.
Oh my God, I just realized that. Look at that.
I am working with what I am being given by both the WWE and AEW. I am honestly not trying to be sexist here.
I understand. You hate women. I get it. I know what's in your heart. It's fine.
Best is a tie for me between Miz and Morrison.
He almost said Miz and Murr.
Solely for one moment during the men's elimination chamber, where the Usos and the New Day decided they're going to team up against Miz and Morrison, and the look on their faces was the best performance of the night, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Worst, I'm going with Natalya again for that interview she gave, same as Aunt Bailey on the last pay-per-view. Just a terrible shoot interview.
Yeah. All right.
He's logging these. He's keeping track of these.
Oh, yeah, I'm keeping track because we're going to talk about them at the end of the year. That's Brafford, what do you got here?
For best performance?
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm going to say, because unlike David Hensley, I consider myself an ally to women.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
My favorite performer is Asuka because she just, again...
to be fair, I didn't actually see the women's elimination chamber. We left before that.
That's true.
Because he hates women.
Yeah.
For
He
fuck's
didn't,
sake.
he didn't wait around. He was like, no.
All chicks, no thank you.
He said, I'm not. I heard him as he was leaving. He said, I'm not putting up with any split tail wrestling. And,
Oh, no.
well, that's what he said. I'm just quoting. I'm quoting.
Remember when everyone was mad at me earlier?
Guys, you can't take any of the stuff that we're saying seriously. It's all fun and love.
Except for dogs. He means everything he says ever.
Most of it, yeah. When I say that Hensley hates women, I mean that.
But I would, I pretty much oh wow, trying to get back on you. I pretty much already made my case for why I love Asuka, just as for what she does with her face, and even Kairi Sane, who just walked out with her and then walked out. I just love the way they play off each other.
This,
I don't know a word of what they're saying. I speak no Japanese, but they're so great.
It's just and Kairi Sane in particular. Just a bouncing little ball of fire. And
it's weird. She's peppier since she went heel.
Right? How did that happen?
Evil made her happier.
Oh man, so good. So yeah, overall we got a 3 Meltzer rating for the Elimination Chamber. I'm not going to do the stats for this. I think we're going to wait till WrestleMania. And
Make that podcast longer.
Yeah, might as well. If WrestleMania even happens, there is that. The rumors are abound of, are they going to cancel WrestleMania?
I feel like they will. I feel not cancel. I think they will end up going through with it somehow. Mm-hmm. I think we were talking about earlier. There's enough investment in it from fans to like sponsors to the company itself that this is probably going to happen in some capacity.
You would think, but see, you would think that about the NCAA tournament and March Madness, and that's postponed.
Yeah, but I think Vince is bullheaded enough to try.
Well, that's where we do agree.
The NCAA is governed by a body.
That's true. That's true.
I don't think Vince would cancel it. The question is, will the city allow it to go on? That seems like the
right now.
now.
It was last I heard it was standing at mayor is going yes, governor is like don't.
Yeah.
But they haven't stepped in and said no. Mm-hmm. So it's still up in the air.
Yeah, and this is going to be in Florida, so who knows?
It'll be crazy enough.
Yeah. And also, I've heard through the rumor mill there are 2 wrestlers that actually have been hit with the coronavirus. So, and they're not identifying who they are. Or at least that's the last thing that I heard. They weren't identifying him.
Don't worry, I'm sure the internet is on the case.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to laugh, look up Adam Page on Twitter and find the statement he released about the steps he will be taking as health precautions.
I saw that.
I'm not going to try to read it all here, but it is worth looking up.
And again, that's why Adam Page is the man.
He has grown on me. I know. Well, remember a while back, I said I didn't really have an opinion on him because I hadn't seen enough of him, and I've seen enough now to know he's good.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I guess this is as good a time as any to get to our big announcement. For the past couple of weeks, we've been keeping a secret here at This Is a Work. We for the longest time, we have been the sister show of Long Walk Talks. We are now expanding, and we now have our own sister show. This is a takeover. Now, this one's going to be broadcasted by Gina Belmont and Shelby Ray, 2 very close personal friends of the show. And they're going to be handling the NXT TakeOver pay-per-views.
Mm-hmm. Which, as it was told to me, are 4 times a year. So every quarter there's an NXT pay-per-view. So you can look forward to 4 extra episodes coming out of this channel over the next year.
Yeah. And now this one, I'm not going to be... I am not hosting. This is Shelby and Gina's baby. And... they will care for this like the little egg that it is, and what it's going to form into a... I don't even know what I'm saying at this
I don't
point.
know either. My job is going to be...
ever come out
the only thing I'm worried about is that name sounds like a double entendre. It sounds like...
yeah, I was trying to say something nice, and it turned into something weird.
How'd that work out for you?
Not great. Well,
my role on the show will be almost the same as on this one, where I hit the record button and then make sure that it's still recording and you can hear everybody while I play games. I've never watched a single episode of NXT TakeOver, or just NXT in general, I mean.
NXT is a really great product. I would not go so far as to say that it's better than AEW, but the thing about it is a big facet in the Wednesday night wars that's happening right now.
And it's also a different product, and Vince does not have
as much control.
No. There are different voices being heard in that one.
Mainly Triple H and William Regal. So it's it's mainly based more on the wrestling, which again, is just it's perfect. That's what we need. And Gina and Shelby have stepped up to take this spot, and I'm excited about it. I can't wait to hear the show. It's going to be good. So it's going to be a completely different dynamic than what we've got going on.
A good one.
Yeah, it has potential to not have me rambling. So
higher percentage of getting wrestlers' names correct.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's basically the difference between WWE and NXT.
Yeah. I'll be Jim Ross to their Excalibur. That's what's going to go down.
That's a different company.
Shut up.
So, Doggz,
yes.
Where can people find you online if they want to follow you?
Oh, well, I'm really glad you asked, Hensley. They can follow me on Facebook at David Two Doggz Hayes. They can also find the Long Walk Talks. This is a work page on Facebook. You can also get a hold of me at David Hayes 357 on Twitter. I'm on there on occasion. And you can find me on Instagram at Two Doggz. This is a work. And also I'm on TikTok.
Are you TikTok famous yet?
I'm not TikTok famous yet. I've only got like 13 followers.
Well, step up your game.
And none of them are my friends. So I think they may just be spam. I
Random
don't know.
creeps.
I don't think they're not friends, but I don't think they're fans either. I think it's just spam. That's all I've got. So if you want to talk to me on TikTok, I'm gonna send some stuff out. I might do it today. I don't know.
Chris, where can people find you online?
I don't know if it matters. No one talks to me but Rob on Twitter.
I think you're great, man.
Oh.
I think you're great.
That's nice. Anyway.
Robert, if people wanted to find you online?
I'm on Facebook, and my Twitter handle is RedbeardRob. I will try to make room for you among my vast followers of women with long chains of random numbers after their names. They're my main audience, but if anybody else wants to join, I'll find a space.
Robert, your Twitter is a gold mine of comedy.
Yes, it is.
I scrolled through it earlier this week.
I think on the past couple of podcasts I've mentioned, Rob said this on Twitter, and it's been...
It's between Brafford's Twitter and MJF's Twitter. It's just fantastic stuff. And a lot of times that's both. So you'll retweet some MJF stuff.
Yeah, fuck them kids. All right, well, you can find me online. I'm on Instagram at DB Hensley, and you can follow us, like Doggz said, on Facebook for more information about the shows at Long Walk Talks and This Is a Work. And in the show notes, there will be links to our YouTube channels, the general one, and then the channel specifically for Long Walk Talks and This Is a Work, where you can also see our wrestling news update segments that, once again, we're going to hopefully continue soon.
Yeah.
So that's that. If you enjoy the show, please make sure that you leave us a rating and a review so we can get some more visibility.
And also, guys, I want you to get ready for This Is a Takeover. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, their first podcast is going to be NXT TakeOver Tampa, right there at WrestleMania weekend. So Hensley's going to be working overtime. Mm-hmm. And God bless you for it, man. Yeah, so we got anything else?
I believe that's it.
Right on, guys. Well, listen, if you got out of bed today and you had a job to go to and somebody that cares about you when you get home, folks, this is a work.
Also, you just won via pinfall.
Yeah, or something. I don't know. I'm really tired.
The man who doesn't pay attention finished your spiel for you.
Yeah, I don't care anymore.
This match is over. We're going home.
Oh, dusty finish.
I feel like I lost this one.
Thank you for listening.
Just ring the bell.